This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Kamryn Mendoza.
And I'm Lesslie Rosas.
Today marks the first day of early voting here in Lubbock County for general and special elections. And residents of the city of Lubbock now have the chance to head to the polls and cast their vote for or against a controversial piece of local legislation. In August of last year, city officials received a request to create a local ordinance that would outlaw abortion inside city limits. Lubbock City Council originally rejected the proposal based on the advice of outside legal counsel, but a petition to put the ordinance to vote was eventually accepted after receiving more than 5,700 of the 3,651 signatures necessary to add it to the ballot. Proposition A, also known as the Sanctuary City for the Unborn proposition, would make it illegal for any abortion to take place within city limits, except in cases where the mother's life would be in danger. The ordinance specifies that any health professional who assists in the abortion or anyone who knowingly aids a person seeking an abortion would be committing an unlawful act. A person seeking an abortion would also be in the violation of the ordinance, as well as someone who coerces a person into having an abortion against their will. Even if the proposition passes, the ordinance cannot be enforced at this time. Currently, the Supreme Court of the United States passed rulings on abortion which would prevent the city from charging anyone in violation of the ordinance. However, the ordinance would set the precedent for a private individual to sue anyone who is found to be in violation of the ordinance, including a doctor, a parent, or even someone who provided transportation to the site of the abortion. However, local legal experts predict that the passing of the ordinance would trigger lawsuits challenging the validity of the ordinance, which could eventually result in the law being declared unconstitutional. Early voting for the May 1st special election starts today and continues through next Tuesday, April 27th. Election Day is set for Saturday, May 1st. Anyone who is a resident of the city of Lubbock and registered before April 1st will have the chance to vote on the proposition. For more information on the May 1st election, including a sample ballot, visit votelubbock.org.
In campus news, Tech student radio station just wrapped up a 24-hour marathon of music using a nearly 100-year-old technology. On Friday, KTXT FM, the Raider 88.1 kicked off the 6th annual Vinyl-thon event. Vinyl-thon is a yearly celebration of analog music with non-commercial radio stations programming up to 24 hours using vinyl records. KTXT's local celebration of Vinyl-thon included a 24-hour broadcast starting at 8 a.m. on Friday and finishing up at 8 a.m. Saturday morning. During the event, several members of the station staff set up in the Subwest Plaza to hand out some free swag while promoting Vinyl-thon 2021.
There's definitely a learning curve in there about learning to spin the vinyl and be timing it correctly, but I think it's all going to work out pretty well. We just like to celebrate our station, music as a whole, and we want to spread the word about just what we do and hopefully recruit people to come volunteer with us and get the word out there.
Even though KTXT was able to make it all 24 hours this year, the national organizers of the event encouraged stations to do what they could in light of COVID-19. Last year, KTXT held a remote broadcast for Vinyl-thon with students spinning records from their homes through Zoom.
The area between the sub and the library is no longer officially referred to as the free speech area, but it's still a place where many different groups from around campus and beyond can discuss topics openly with the student population. And last week, a new student organization took advantage of the outdoor public space to give students a chance to learn about their beliefs. Members of the Tech Secular Student Alliance were available in the Subwest Plaza last Friday for Ask an Atheist Day. The event is held annually in April at schools around the country, giving those with questions about atheism a chance to get answers from fellow students. Members of Tech's SSA manned a table from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and also offered passers-by free handouts, including pamphlets regarding their beliefs, as well as local organizations they support.
It depends for different members, they join for different reasons. I know for me personally, I know there's a lot of stigma that exists around of atheism and what it means to not be religious. So for me personally, I just want to break the stigma, and I want to show people that, we're regular people, we're out here, we're doing good things. And also provide community for people who are not religious, just because I know in Texas it can be kind of difficult to find a community of people like that.
Ask an Atheist Day was held nationally on Thursday, April 15th. Tex SSA originally planned to host the local event on that day, but had to reschedule due to weather. For more information on the Tech Secular Student Alliance, search Tech SSA on Facebook and Instagram, or Tech Secular on Twitter.
The South Plains area experienced a noticeable cool down last week, with temperatures only reaching the mid-60s. Over the weekend, the cooler temperatures stuck around, but the return of the sun yesterday afternoon helped make at least one day this weekend feel a little more like spring. So, can we expect the spring-like conditions to continue into this week? MCTV's Madison Hartin joins us in the studio with the latest look at the forecast. Madison?
Thanks, Leslie. Well, it is true, Texas Tech. Over the last couple days, we started to see a return of cooler temperatures sweep through the South Plains. Starting yesterday morning, we started to see temperatures gradually rise back up again, up into the 70s again, and today those have stuck around and been fairly nice. But sadly, we are not quite out of the woods yet in terms of this cold. In fact, over the next few days, we're going to start to see another round of cool temperatures come through the area. For today, our high temperature climbed all the way up to 72 degrees with sunny and warm conditions and a southwesterly wind coming at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For this evening, as we start to see the temperature drop and things start to look a little cooler over the South Plains, we're going to be seeing a low temperature of 34 degrees with clear and windy conditions, and the wind coming from the southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour, but possible higher wind gusts are possible. Looking at the South Plains as a whole for this evening, that wind is going to start to be bringing in these cool temperatures up from the north and bringing them down here into Lubbock where we are. Our coolest temperatures for the South Plains are going to be dropping back all the way down into the upper 20s again, so it is going to be fairly cooler across the area. And when it's cooler across the area and we have potential for freezing in the South Plains, we all need to be taking care of ourselves. We can see that these counties right here are likely to experiencing sub-freezing temperatures, and when we have freezing temperatures on the South Plains, you need to take care of the 4 Ps. You need to check on your pipes. If they're not insulated, maybe cover them up with a towel. If you have plants outside that are going to be outside during the freeze, definitely cover them up with a blanket or an old rag just to keep them from freezing. People, if you have any elderly people in your life who live here, just make sure that they're safe with the frost. And pets, definitely bring your furry friends inside so they don't get too cold. Now, for the South Plains as a whole for tomorrow, we are still going to be seeing some cooler temperatures across the South Plains, but it is going to be a little bit better than it is going to be the next day. Things are sadly going to get worse before they get better for the area. Our high temperature for out of Friona tomorrow is going to be climbing only up to 51 degrees, so fairly chilly tomorrow, but the sun will be out, making it feel a little bit nicer. But our coolest temperatures out of Friona are going to be dropping down into the upper 20s with a low temperature of only 26 degrees for tomorrow morning. So very cold out there. It is definitely going to be a chilly one for tomorrow. Back into Lubbock locally, we can see for tomorrow, we have a high temperature of 55 degrees, a low of 32, and a northeasterly wind coming at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Now, even though it is going to be fairly cold and windy outside, we are still at least going to have the sun out, making it feel a little bit warmer outside, but sadly the same thing cannot be said for Wednesday. For Wednesday, we are going to be still seeing the sun, but we are going to be having some clouds gracing the sky, making it feel a little bit colder outside. Again, that wind coming from the southeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour, but higher wind gusts of 40 miles per hour are possible that day, with a high temperature of only 55 and a low of 39, so it is going to be very, very chilly for Wednesday. And then for Thursday, we finally have some warmer temperatures coming back up into the 60s, with a high of 64, a low of 51, and a southeasterly wind coming at 10 to 20 miles per hour. But for Thursday, the sun will not be around. Around mid-morning, we're going to start to see those overcast skies roll in, so it is going to be fairly cloudy for Thursday. So sadly, we're not actually going to be having any very nice days for this week, but at least we have some warmer temperatures to look forward to, especially if we move out of the spring season into the summer months. So maybe we should be thanking it for this cold that we're experiencing now, because I'm sure come July, we're going to be wishing it was still these temperatures. That's all for MCTV Weather. I'm Madison Hartin. Back to you, Leslie.
Thanks, Madison. The Texas Tech baseball team headed to the mountains of West Virginia as they continued Big 12 play this weekend. Even though the change in the altitude may have been a new experience for some of the team, that didn't keep the Red Raiders from belting a few out of the park and bringing home another series win. On Friday, Tech kicked off the weekend series with a 7-2 win in Morgantown. The team put up 2 runs in the first and 1 in the fourth before Braxton Fulford finally knocked one over the left field wall for a 2-run homer. The Red Raiders would go on to score 2 more runs before the Mountaineers finally put 2 on the board in the ninth, but it was too late for the home team. On Saturday, Tech was hoping to extend a 5-game win streak with another victory, but WVU started the scoring early, putting up 3 runs before the Red Raiders could run the bases. Tech finally found home plate in the fourth, 1 more in the fifth, and took the lead in the sixth after loading the bases and bringing in 3 more runs. The Mountaineers would tie the game in the eighth and then went on to a walk-off win with a final score of 6-5. With the Red Raiders in jeopardy of losing the series, sophomore pitcher Mason Montgomery stepped up and pitched 6 innings, allowing only 2 hits and 1 run. Montgomery also struck out 12 batters in a row for the first time in a Big 12 game since 2010. The pitcher's strong performance was backed up by the Red Raiders' signature offense as the team scored 10 runs. To bring home the win and take the series, redshirt freshman Cal Conley led the hitting with 4 hits, including a home run in the fifth and 6 innings. Tech now gears up for an unusual midweek game as they face a fellow Big 12 team in a neutral site exhibition matchup. The Red Raiders will get their first look at the 2021 Oklahoma Sooner team in a showdown at Amarillo's Hodgetown Ballpark. The game is scheduled for 7 p.m. tomorrow, and it will be broadcast on ESPNU.
Texas Tech softball is also celebrating today after bringing home their first Big 12 series win of the season. The Red Raiders clinched the series victory yesterday afternoon against the Kansas Jayhawks in Lawrence. Tech started yesterday with a 2-run homer by senior Carly Hamilton, followed by runs in the 5th and 6th to tie the game at 4. Then, in the top of the 8th, junior Yvonne Whaley would hit a double to bring in 1 more run, and that's all Tech would need to secure the win 5-4. The Red Raiders hope to take their newfound momentum and add to their winning record as they head north again this weekend to face the Oklahoma Sooners. But it won't be easy as the Sooners are currently ranked number 1 in the nation and have a perfect record on the season. Tech versus Oklahoma starts on Friday at 6 p.m., followed by a 1 p.m. first pitch on Saturday and a noon start to wrap things up on Sunday. There's no TV broadcast for this weekend's games, but you can keep up with the latest stats and score by visiting texastech.com.
Both the Tech's on-campus diamonds were empty this weekend, with both baseball and softball playing out of town. But one other Red Raider sport brought fans to campus for an annual showcase designed to get fans fired up for the fall. The Texas Tech football team hosted their annual spring game at Jones AT&T Stadium on Saturday. The spring game is the last spring practice and scrimmage for the team this semester. The annual exhibition pits the offense against the defense in a showdown to see who can score the most points. One of the main highlights of Saturday's game was for fans to get the first look at potential starting quarterback Tyler Show. Show joined the team earlier this year after spending the 3 previous seasons at the University of Oregon. Show went 4 for 7 on his second drive of the game to set up the offense for a 42-yard field goal. Senior quarterback Henry Colomby also put the offense within scoring position after a 32-yard pass to Trey Cleveland. At the end of the exhibition, the offense took home this year's win, giving fans something to look forward to in August.
So, Leslie, do you get to check out Texas Tech football at the spring game over the weekend?
It was a little bit chilly for me, so I was not able to attend, but I look forward to the fall.
I hear that. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.